And we're live. Good afternoon, everybody. You know who it is? It's me, Justin McDonald, with another quote from a book. Do you know who Mr. Vance Morris is? He, pardon me, wrote this quote. But before I say the quote, he has this book called Systematic Magic. And Vance Morris was praised by Dan Kennedy, by Ben Settle, and Russell Brunson. And his whole shtick is to Disneyfy your business. So think about Disney, the company, and what they represent, like happiness and good, clean family fun. And this guy, Vance Morris, he was one of the leaders in customer service at Disney for 10 years. He worked as a senior manager, bunch of things with Chef Mickey, and now he consults other coaches and companies on how to basically create like a Disney style service, and like putting it in your direct response marketing approach. So, I had to check this guy out and check out his book. It was pretty good. But I remember one of the things he said too was, with a great marketing system, you get to go to bed every night knowing what's going to happen in your business tomorrow, next week, and next month with reasonable certainty. So, a lot of us in business, a lot of us entrepreneurs operate like where the income that we're getting is more on an event base. Like, gee, I hope somebody calls so I can provide them with this service or product that I have for sale. Versus having the right kind of marketing approach, you go to bed every night, every day, every month, and you can measure and track and basically retain and sustain the relationships and the success you're getting. But it takes having a proper marketing system. And remember, when it comes to marketing system and processes, it's not a race, it's a marathon. So you want to attract high level, high quality players with money, I guess you can say, or people with money to your business. And when you have the right strategy and you're talking to the right people, and by the right people, you're talking to the people that are responding to what your ad copy is saying. So you want to have all these marketing mechanisms in place so that way you can actually have security, like job security. Without a decent marketing process and marketing strategies, you're just kind of out there playing Russian roulette. Basically, you're just like, are they? Is anyone going to show up today? And look, a lot of businesses, unfortunately, operate like this. Look at Main Street. Everywhere. Businesses that exist as mom and pop businesses that are solely relying upon Main Street success, meaning like if you go to Main Street in every city, major town or city or village or whatever capital in this whole country, there's a common theme where a lot of the marketplace, a lot of the local economy is concentrated on Main Street, right? The only thing about that is that the Main Street effect is like the only marketing sometimes, or like the major marketing that a lot of these companies and businesses do, and why they fail. And then they're like, well, why don't I just slap up a graphic and a website and a picture of somebody in the company and then call it a day. Nobody really responds to that because they don't really have a marketing approach. They're just like, here, let's build it. They'll come. And look, there's plenty of mom and pop pizza shops and other like mechanics and coffee shops and bakeries and maybe some small bookshops and other like services, maybe real estate a little bit, and attorneys and chiropractors and some private doctors and like some of these other random stores sometimes get mild success off of having very lazy marketing approach, which is let me just put something on Main Street because there's already like the marketing approach that they used was actually kind of right on some aspect, because they're like, well, why don't we go where the money's at? Makes kind of sense. People tend to flock and go to Main Street. If there's not already a mall in that city or town, which is often the case, right? Or strip malls or various strip malls, then there's most likely the most amount of action is going to happen on something that, if it's not Main Street, it's called something like Main Street, and it's like Main Street, right? And then a lot of times too, in these bigger cities and towns that have a Main Street and it's got all these businesses on it, also will have like connecting and streets running parallel and adjacent that will also have businesses that are basically doing the same thing. They're like riding off the coattails of the Main Street effect. Is that a phrase? I don't know. I might have to coin that one. The Main Street effect. I just thought of that right now, actually. And the Main Street effect is simply what I just said. You know, there's office space, there's a storefront, there's commercial real estate up for rent on Main Street. So, a mom and pop shop, tattoo parlor, barber, restaurant, something. It could be martial arts, whatever, studio. They're like, hey, let's do our thing in there. Let's sell our wares there. Let's promote our business there. And again, they might get a significant amount of local traffic just based on, well, there is nothing better or else to do in Main Street in this town. Let's go browse this shop and stuff. Hey, it does work, but again, I think too many businesses get stuck in that trap and that feedback loop. When you start bringing up marketing and advertising to them, they tie the two together, and then they're like, well, when we do advertising, this one particular kind of client only shows up and it's a waste of money or something like that. And it's just like, they don't understand the whole marketing aspect They're just like, they just see advertising, that one cog in the wheel, and they're like, well, I don't mess around with advertising because it's not necessary, it's a waste of money. And I get that. Sometimes I've worked at businesses before too, and where they got basically enough capacity and clients where they didn't need more business, in other words. They just needed to fulfill and sustain the orders that were already there. And hey, by figuring out how to do that in the cleanest, most sensible, most economical, and profitable way possible is marketing, by the way. But it's not very common, and you kind of gotta be on Main Street as a landmark almost in a generational sense. Like, your parents or whatever used to go there and shop there and get their hair cut there, or get pizza at that place over there, or went to that bookshop over there, or went and saw a movie over there, whatever it is. So, if you don't have if you don't have the Main Street effect working in your favor, then you absolutely need to follow this advice with having a good marketing system. So you can, go to bed with less anxiety and frustration and insomnia, knowing that you will have work to do tomorrow. You will have work to do next week. You will have appointments set up. You'll have clients, they've already paid for the thing or whatever it is. It's great. So, you can't just have the best price and hope that that's what's going to make you survive forever. You need to have solid marketing strategies. And then that way, instead of just having income events, you actually have a marketing process and sales funnels. And we'll get to more of that some other time. Thank you very much for listening and or watching. I appreciate all the support. If you want to like, follow this, subscribe this, share this, whatever. Have a nice day. Peace.